Hey everyone, Ottley here, and today I wanted to make a quick video for those of you who are struggling as an entrepreneur, because that is something that I know all too well. I was once there, and in this video I want to share with you some of the things that helped me get through some of the toughest parts of my entrepreneurial journey, particularly in the earlier stages when you just have no clue what the hell you're doing. So I'm going to share with you some resources that got me through it and some of the key lessons from that journey, and also some tactics that allowed me to essentially just keep going without stopping. And that's really the name of the game, is just, can you just keep going despite all of the evidence showing you otherwise and all of this negative feedback you're getting from the world? How can you just keep the courage and strength to keep going? And so I want to share with you guys, some of you have already found it. It's a blog from my earliest days as an entrepreneur, likely where many of you are in your journey right now. The first entry in this is in, let me check, September, 6th of September 2019. And so I started doing a blog. It's here on a WordPress site that was, it's still up, and it was called From Fang to Financial Freedom. And I'm from Fang here in New Zealand. That's my hometown. And it's supposed to be my journey from Fang to financial freedom. And so when I started it, I said that the purpose of this blog is for me to share my learnings, experiences, and thoughts. I plan to do short reflections on books I read in hope of maximizing my learnings and sharing these with people that I look up to and perhaps who would look up to me, and archiving them as some kind of frail form of the evidence that I do, in fact, know a thing or two. However, I do recognize that most people reading this will have far more experience in the topics I cover, so please send me an email if you have any ideas to bounce around with me, or even some criticism if you think I have something wrong or don't see the whole picture, which I'm prone to doing. And so this blog that I started was really a way of me keeping in touch when I was living overseas in Scotland with my family and friends. I would just be able to share what I was doing in my entrepreneurial journey. But this became a pretty valuable place for me to document my thoughts, and from the earliest stages of me starting as an entrepreneur, which I think can be incredibly valuable for many of you, because you may look at me and other people now and be like, wow, they can't even relate to what I'm going through. It's like they seem like they've got it all going, and it's just sort of going from one strength to the next, which is what it does get to eventually. But man, it was not like that all along. It was extremely painful, and you just have no idea what you're doing. And so I want to share this resource with you all, and I'm going to show you some of my favorite entries here. And then later on, I'm going to share with you another really important tactic that I used to stay consistent and stay in the game as an entrepreneur when I was just getting started. One of my earliest blogs from 2019 is a book review of Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod, which was really what started my entire personal development journey. And so here on the blog, I'll leave a link, of course, to this blog in the description. I break down the key concepts in the book, what I learned from it, the SAVERS acronym, which is what I started my personal development journey with, which is meditation, affirmations, visualizations, exercise, reading, and scribing as well. And then I have other book reviews on here like Think and Grow Rich, of course, a classic that everyone reads at some point in their personal development journey. I have little breakdowns of my holidays that I went on while I was living overseas. And so what this blog allows you to do is to look back into my life when I was at this stage of my development and see the mundane or basic stuff that I was going through and how I was processing and getting through the issues. And so some of the most important ones that I think you all should read are things like this here, which I titled Choosing Your Pain. And I started reading Mark Manson's The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck today, and it really struck a chord, particularly because of his breakdown of happiness. When asked what you want in life, he explains that there's no point in listing all the nice things. Everyone wants to live a carefree, happy, and easy life, to have great relationships, and to be well respected, rah, rah, rah. He urges readers to consider what pain they want in their life. In other words, what they are willing to struggle for. He uses his own childhood dream of being a rock star as an example. He fantasized for years about being up on stage, playing guitar to the screams of the crowd. And shockingly, this never came to fruition, as he eventually realized that he was in love with the result. The fans rocking out on stage, but not to the process. The group rehearsals, trying to find gigs, carting around heavy equipment without a car. Therefore, he didn't really want it. And so I said, it got me thinking of, if I'm caught up in this entrepreneur hype, do I really love the struggles of building and running my own business, or am I just in love with the result? When I considered the pain I wanted in my life, I absolutely wanted it to be the ups and downs of business ownership, where I was directly responsible for the outcome. And then I left my readers, which was about 5 people at the time, with a question of saying, what pain have you chosen for your life? Will you find happiness in working through the never-ending onslaught of problems associated with that journey? So for me, I still come back to these blogs occasionally to remind myself of how far I've come. But for you, as someone who is in the same position that I was here, this is me literally in my first year of business. In 2019 when I was living in Scotland. And you get to look in and go through this journey step by step with me, basically, and see the learnings that I was picking up along the way. This is the stuff that I can tell to you about business from the point that I'm in now. It's a few years down the line, likely, and it's taken me a long time to get here. But the advice that you can get from 2019 Liam is just a few steps ahead of you, right? So these things are maybe a lot more applicable than some of the other advice that I can give to you, because I'm running a business that's on a much different level to what I was just trying to get off the ground at this stage. There's even other things on here like my productivity practices that I was picking up at the time, which many of which, including this, I still have in my routine. Where I'm planning my day and setting out different tasks. It's based off the book called Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. And you have A tasks, B tasks, C tasks, D tasks, and E tasks. And this sorting system is something that I still use regularly to make sure that I'm staying on the right path with my productivity and with my task management. I even give you a direct link to the daily planner that I used to use. I remember this thing, I had used to import them from America and pay stupid money just to get the specific kind of daily planner that I really like to use, because I could track all my habits, etc. So there's so many valuable resources in this blog. If you just take a few minutes to read through it, and you can pick up some really good gems that may help you get through this tricky phase of business, which is your first year or two. On some days I just put up a quote like this, one of my favorite quotes, The Man in the Arena. Just something that I was keeping in my mind to keep me going. Like these really small things, you can steal some of the hard work I had to go through and just absorb this quote and put it on your wall. I had this stuff stuck all over my wall, and you'll even see in some of the blogs I'm saying, I like this quote, so I stuck it in front of my wall and now I read it every day. Then we have ones like this, visualizations, which is insane for me to read now in the position that I'm in. But I say during my morning routine, I always set aside time for 5 to 10 minutes of visualizations. I close my eyes and imagine my perfect day, living my dream life and easily working through tasks. I focus on bringing the happiness of that future moment into the present. Me and my friends, somewhere in the world, seeing new places, meeting new people, working on awesome projects and building our businesses. Waking up in my dream house to a beautiful view, driving my dream cars and feeling the rush as I move through the gears. When I open my eyes, I feel so happy and energized, ready to smash through any task standing between where I am currently and where I dream of being. Give visualizing in the morning a go if you haven't already. I find it's a great way to start the day, Liam. And when I read this section here, it is almost too hard to believe that exactly what I was envisioning and visualizing on 16th of April 2020 is exactly the life that I have now with my friends and everything that I've got in my life right now. So this stuff works. Is what I'm saying. So if you are a struggling entrepreneur, which is completely fine, I was too, then take a look at my blog. It's going to be linked in the description, and have a read through. Maybe screenshot your favorite ones. You can print it out and put it on your wall. And I hope that me feeling like I'm alongside you on this journey will give you the strength to keep going, because I promise you it's as much of a game of just staying in the game than it is about absolutely smashing every day and just taking W after W after W and just absolutely murdering it. It really is just staying in the game, even on those hardest days when you get knocked out. It's just getting back up and keeping going. And one more of my posts that I want to run through with you now that is particularly important for anyone starting a business is this one that I titled Riches. And I took a quote from Napoleon Hill that says, "When riches begin to come, they come so quickly and in such great abundance that one wonders where they have been hiding during all those lean years." And so this was posted in April of 2020 when I just started making money finally with e-commerce. And I said 14 months, thousands of dollars, what it took for me to make my first dollars in profit online. In the past 7 days, my business has gone from $0 to $1,200 per day. It seems unreal, and I tear up when I think back to me toiling away on dead-end stores and products last year, spending every hour of my time out of work, sitting in front of a laptop. Do not let the lean years deter you from pursuing what you want most. Liam. So there's a friendly reminder about how long it takes to succeed, even for me, 14 months to make my first dollar in profit online. So I'm going to leave a link to this blog down below. I highly recommend you just take a skim through it. You can sort them by date order and just scroll through and click next. Have a skim through, screenshot your favorite ones and put it on your wall or something, because I hope that what I went through in this phase, and that actually worked. I mean, the proof's in the pudding. I'm here now. So these thoughts and these learnings actually worked and made a difference to me at these early stages. Oh, getting a bit right there. Sorry. There's also one other thing that I want to share with you, and that's my habit of every month I will film a vlog. And you saw it in my story video, all of those daily personal video diaries. I would sit down basically once a month and I would film on my laptop, just me talking to the camera, breaking down what I'd been going through for the past month, whether it's personal life, work outside of entrepreneurship when I was working a normal job, uni life, romance, etc. But mainly my struggles as an entrepreneur. And these video diaries, not only did they keep me consistent and I could look back and see how far I'd come, which is really helpful, But eventually, like as an unintended consequence, later down the line, should you choose to want to prove who you are and prove the journey that you've been on, this becomes a really invaluable resource for you in telling your story, because I think personal branding is such a no-brainer for people these days. And so not only do you get the consistency of showing up every month and setting targets and saying, next time I hop on this, I hope to have this done. And then you come on the next month and you say, oh, well, I've gotten this done. That consistency and that kind of holding yourself accountable was really beneficial for me. But also you're building up a catalog of proof of who you are and the journey you've been on, which can allow you to connect with an audience as I have with many of you through this channel. And there's a bunch of benefits for being able to tell your story, especially in this digital age. So yeah, that's all. Link to visit the vlog will be in the description below. I really hope some of these learnings can help you to stay in the game like they did for me. So that's all for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.